the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the lips, the teeth. Oh! Hello, everybody. Oh, you caught me off guard there. My name is Gracie Staynes, and I am so excited that we're going to share all this wonderful time together. And I'm so excited to be reading the book Room for Rent. Now, I hope you're all sitting comfortably, and let's get stuck in to Room for Rent by Leah Goldberg with illustrations by Shmuel Katz. I can't wait. Oh, it's so pretty! Can you see that? Room for Rent by Leah Goldberg. These illustrations. Are we ready? Here we go. In a sunlit valley between meadow and sky stands a fine old house that's 5 stories high. On the first floor is a Cornish hen, heavy and stout. All day long she lazes about. Our friend Miss Hen is so fat and coddled, she can barely manage a walk or a waddle. This is Miss Hen down here, I think. Can you see her? Now, I think me and Miss Hen are going to be quite similar when I get out of quarantine. Very lazy. On the second floor lives a cuckoo bird. Her chicks are all scattered, you may have heard. From dawn to dusk she makes her rounds to visit her children in other towns. There's Cuckoo, can you see? On the third floor is a cat who's finicky clean. She combs her whiskers so pristine, with fur that's darkest midnight black and a bow around her neck. She's vain about that. I can relate to Cat, I think. On the fourth floor lives a tranquil squirrel. With her friends, she's never picked a quarrel. She cracks pecans to her heart's content and says this peace is heaven sent. Look, there's squirrel and cat. And up on floor 5 lived Sir Reginald Mouse until 1 week ago when he left the house. And to this day we have our doubts to anyone who knows his whereabouts. The committee got together and drew up a sign in large block letters in one straight line. They hung the sign on a nail on the door. It read, "Room for Rent." Not one word more. Can you see it over here? So this room up here where Sir Reginald Mouse was is up for rent. I'm so excited. I wonder what it looks like inside. Ooh! By highway and byway, past hills and down dales, new tenants came knocking, telling their tales. First was Miss Ant. She marched up to floor 5, opened the door and peeked inside. The neighbours all gathered around to spy as Miss Ant checked the place with a critical eye. They asked her politely if the rooms were all right. Perhaps she would like to stay for the night. So here's Miss Ant, and here's all the lovely neighbours with the sign. Are the rooms nice? Yes, they'll suffice. Will the kitchen do? It's just right too. Do you like the hall? It's fine, that's all. So come live with us, Miss Ant. I can't. Why not? The ant replied in a nasty gripe. Sorry, but the neighbours are not my type. A hard-working ant can hardly reside with a lazy hen whom she cannot abide. The Miss Hen in this house is so fat and coddled, she can hardly manage a walk or a waddle. How rude. The hen was hurt and turned her back. Miss Ant went away. No need to unpack. Well, I don't think we want Miss Ant living with them, do we? Very rude. Let's see what happens on the next page. As soon as she'd gone, in bounded Mrs. Rabbit. She bounced up the stairs, as was her habit. She read the sign and took a long look. Her soft furry ears quivered and shook. I see Mrs. Rabbit here in the door. You see? She's carrying a handbag. Oh, it's fabulous. That's a fabulous handbag. I think I might have to ask her where she got that from. The neighbors all gathered around to spy as the rabbit checked the place with a critical eye. They asked her politely if the rooms were all right. Perhaps she would like to stay for the night. Are the rooms nice? Yes, they'll suffice. Will the kitchen do? It's just right too. Do you like the hall? It's fine, that's all. So, Mrs. Rabbit, please stay. No way. I'm sorry, she gasped, but to make it short, the neighbours are simply not the right sort. How can a mother with 20 young ones live with a cuckoo who abandoned her sons? The cuckoo's chicks sleep in another mum's nests. She abandons each one along with the rest. What kind of example is she for my brood? Don't beg me to stay, I'm not in the mood. Ooh, Mrs. Rabbit. The cuckoo bird stalked out in a huff. Mrs. Rabbit raced off. She'd had more than enough. Another rude guest. Well, I don't think we want Mrs. Rabbit staying there, do we? Not in that beautiful house. Shall we have a quick look? The house is gorgeous. I mean, it would have to take a very special person, I think, to live on this gorgeous floor. So that's a no from Mrs. Rabbit and a no from Miss Ant. Let's see who's next. With Mrs. Rabbit gone, in came Snortimus Pig in a pork pie hat and a curly wig. Oh, I've got a curly wig, can you see? But I hope I don't look like Snortimus Pig. He read the sign, room for rent, tumbled inside and up he went. His tiny eyes peered at the ceiling and floor, the windows and walls, while he stood at the door. The neighbours all gathered around to spy as the pig scanned the place with a critical eye. They asked him politely if the rooms were all right. Perhaps he would like to stay for the night. Are the rooms nice? Yes, they'll suffice. And the kitchen, what do you say? Far too clean, but okay. Do you like our hall? It's fine, that's all. Then Snortimus, will you remain? Heavens no, I must complain. The neighbours are not to my taste, I'm afraid. There's been a huge error, a mistake has been made. Me in the same house as a cat with black fur? A white thoroughbred pig cannot live next to her. The neighbours did not remain silent for long. Get out of here, pig, they cried. Scoot, run along. You're the mistake. You're the one who's all wrong. How rude. I think he's the rudest yet. So we don't want Miss Ant, we don't want Mrs. Rabbit, and we definitely don't want Snortimus Pig. How rude. Goodbye, grunted Snortimus, tossing his tail. Then in waltzed a honey-voiced nightingale. The nightingale sang a melodious song. As she flew up the staircase, it didn't take long. She read the sign and opened the door, examined the walls, the ceiling, the floor. I think this is Nightingale here, with a lovely bonnet, and I love this necklace. The neighbours all gathered around to spy, as the nightingale gazed with a critical eye. They asked her politely if the rooms were all right. Perhaps she would like to stay for the night. Are the rooms nice? Yes, they'll suffice. And the kitchen will do? It's just right too. Then stay with us, please. What does she say? No, I won't stay or ask for the keys. The neighbours are dreadful, as everyone sees. How can I enjoy my peace and quiet when that squirrel downstairs is creating a riot? She cracks those nuts the whole day through. The noise is worse than in a zoo. My delicate ears need a beautiful tune, not a squirrelsome racket that makes me swoon. Another rude animal. The squirrel flinched and took offence. The nightingale flew off over the fence. Well, I cannot believe these people. That's no way to visit someone's home, is it? Well, I'm happy the nightingale has flown over the nest. Even if I did like the nightingale's necklace. What's next? With the nightingale gone, in floated the dove. A dove. She flitted and fluttered to the top floor above. She read the sign and opened the door, examined the walls, the ceiling, the floor. The neighbours all gathered around to spy. As the dove glanced about with a critical eye, they asked her politely if the rooms were all right. Perhaps she would like to stay for the night. Look, they're all up in their rooms waiting to see what she thinks. Are the rooms nice? They're small at this price. Will the kitchen do? It's narrow, that's true. The hallway, is it roomy? It's dark and gloomy. So you won't stay with us? Yes, I will, cooed the dove. And in fact, I would love to live here among you. The dove is gonna stay. That's so exciting. Miss Hen, I can see, is a feathery friend. The sweet cuckoo bird is true to her word. The cat's so pristine, not a speck can be seen. The squirrel shares her treasured nuts. A generous neighbour, no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm sure we'll be able to get along. Our friendly ties will remain steady and strong. So the dove sees all the things that these other animals saw and sees them as a positive, because it's great that they're different, because they can all help out. Wow. Now the dove sounds like the perfect roommate, I think. It's our last page. The dove decided to rent the room. Now she sits at her window and grooms her plume. There she is in the top floor. In a sunlit valley between meadow and sky stands a fine old house that's 5 stories high. With laughter that rings from every floor, 2 friends and good neighbours who could ask for more. Wow! What a wonderful book! And that's the end. Thank you so much for joining me for reading Room for Rent by Leah Goldberg with illustrations by Shmuel Katz. I mean, these pictures are fantastic, aren't they? I love this. Miss Hen, Cuckoo, the cat, the squirrel, and we know now that the dove is living up in the top floor. If you can donate, that would be so marvellous. All of the proceeds from Refractions of Pride will be donated to the Forney Center, an incredible center that houses LGBTQIA+ homeless youth throughout the year. I'm so thrilled to be a part of this. My name is Gracie Staynes, and thank you so much for joining me. Mwah!